Hi, I'm Jim Mars, and I've always been interested in secret things, alternative stories. My background is as a news reporter, and I learned early on about the so-called secret societies. My question was, do they really exist? More importantly, do they have any power? Over a period of 35 years, I have studied, read, talked, experienced, and I want to tell you they're real, they're here, and yes, within the inner core elite, they definitely have power. And I think this is an anathema to the whole concept of a free, open, and democratic America.
The concept of New World Order, even the term, before you even get into the whole subject matter, you only need to look at the term. New World Order is found in Latin underneath the pyramid on the dollar bill, Norvis Oda Seclorum, which comes from the Latin poet Ovid. So it's an old Roman concept, a Roman term. Roman symbolism is something that needs to be studied because you have the Roman eagle, which was then picked up by the Nazis, and now you find it in America. You find it at the top of the flagpoles, you find it on the federal government, you find it on the dollar bill, the symbol of the eagle. In the landing on the moon, you hear them talking about the eagle has landed. You know, what kind of eagle are we talking about here? And Novus Ordo Seclorum, New World Order, has a resonance with Nazi Germany because in Nazi Germany you have Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler's first book, the most important known book, was called Mein Kampf, but his second book was actually called The New World Order.
What do you feel is the major secret society? The Skull and Bones, or what is it? And what's the name?
Probably the premier secret society is the Bilderbergs. They're so secretive they don't even have a name. They're called the Bilderbergs because they were discovered meeting first in the early 50s in a Bilderberg hotel over in Holland. They were being headed by Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, who was a former SS officer. They are the inner core elite of other secret societies, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, and then they draw heavily from a very secretive campus fraternity by the name of Skull and Bones. President George W. Bush and his father, former President Bush, and his grandfather, Prescott Bush, were all members of this Skull and Bones society.
These fraternities are bloodlines, so they go long, back in history. The fact that they walk on the red carpet. The only queens and kings walk on red carpet. So how come your American presidents are doing it? Because they're bloodline. 43 American presidents, all the ones who became president, are directly linked to British monarchs by blood. From Roosevelt, in fact, all of them, all of the ones who became president are linked by bloodline to royal families, and the walking on the red carpet, which is the bloodline, proves it.
There's a group of probably 300 men that control most of the actions of the world. It boils down to what's known as like the 7 families. And between the 7 families, they all pretty much have divided up the earth as we know it.
At the heart of the secret societies lie some of the most powerful people in this country. Alan Greenspan, for example, can be connected to these people. These people run the major banks, major insurance companies. Now, we don't really stop and think about these folks or these organizations, but they exert a tremendous impact on the lives of every single individual citizen.
Well, my name's John Greenwald. I've been doing a website called The Black Vault for about 6 years. I research the connections on what the government has done, the investigations they've done in the past, and what I do is I scan all these documents on the internet and have archived over 107,000 pages on the internet. I was able to come up with a little bit of a weird coincidence with the 9/11 conspiracy. I found a document that was the government research into the terrorist organizations and terrorist groups and what their capabilities were and what exactly they may have been planning in the future. They profiled one in particular, and that was obviously Al-Qaeda. That doesn't really sound too strange, but the strange part is the government publication date on the document. And that publication date was September 10th, 2001, one day before the tragedy struck. So that in itself was very, very strange.
And then Adolf Hitler and his henchmen, people like Himmler and Goebbels, Rosenberg, were always talking about the fact that there was a 1,000-year Reich. They kept on using this term about a 1,000-year kingdom. Then we have George Bush later on talking about the 1,000 points of light. Right? We have George Bush using the term New World Order, I think it was in 2000, on September 11th. And September 11th, 2000, was the first time ever that George Bush used the term, we have to have a New World Order.